All right, it's the new year. Hopefully, you had a good New Year's celebration. Today, we're going to do something that we did last year and possibly the year before. I can't fully remember, but that is the state of D20 woodworking. Now, I know a lot of people watch this and they go, "Oh my God, D20 is going to stop doing YouTube videos. It's all falling apart." That's not as bad. I'm not stopping doing YouTube videos or anything like that. But I think it's a really good video to just kind of reflect on the past year and also what I think the following year will be like. Because there are going to be changes to this channel and how I do things. And I think in general, YouTube channels should always be kind of evolving. Either slowly or quickly, probably not quickly, but at least slowly. Because if you're just kind of staying in the same exact spot and like stagnating, I guess, you're not really growing. And I think I've been really, really fortunate in the Marvel Champion space to grow to almost as big as it can get. I could probably get a little bit bigger, but I think if, I want to do this full time, which I do want to do. I want to do content creation full time. For those that are new and don't know this, like this is the goal, right? Why do I make this channel? Is to do content creation full time. It's what I do in my real job, and I love making content. I just hate working for my job, but it's something I'm truly passionate about and something I truly enjoy. So that's the goal. That's why I do all this. I know people wonder that why do you bother doing all this stuff? It's to do this full time, and I think it can be done for sure. I know a lot of people have doubts, but I also want to make some changes to this channel and how I do things because I want it to be as not easy for me. I know it sounds like a cheap way of doing things. Not necessarily easy, but just I don't ever want to burn out on it, and I don't really burn out on creating content, but we'll get more into that in a second. But yeah, the whole purpose of this video really is to kind of talk a little about what the past year has been and then what the goals are for the future. Now, really quick, I know it's kind of hard to see on the screen, but that 9182 is my current subscriber count. That's the end of the year. I'm recording this actually early on New Year's Day. But if we look at what the beginning of the year was, January 1st of 2024, I was at 3,887 subscribers on YouTube, which is like a big growth. I mean, that's a big number. It's more than double, right? It's like almost triple. We've had crazy amount of growth on this channel. And there's been a lot of growth here, and then it kind of slowed down a bit. Hold on, wait, can I move my face? Yeah, move my face out of the way. So it's kind of tapered off a bit, or tapered off a bit. I was like doing it on the other screen so you couldn't see it, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. But we've definitely grown. I think we ended January 31st with 9177, which is crazy. So for those that don't know, subscriber count really doesn't mean much. Like it really doesn't mean anything. It helps a little bit in the algorithm in the sense that my videos will get pushed out to more people, but even if you don't subscribe to this channel, you just watch a bunch of my videos, you're still going to get pushed to my videos. So it doesn't really help out a ton besides making me feel good. But it does help out a little bit, obviously. But obviously not obviously, but my goal for 2024 was to hit 10,000 subs. And it was kind of a stretch goal. Like it was going to be rough to get there. And the fact that I got kind of close is amazing. So yeah, it's shy of where I wanted to be. It's shy revenue wise of where I want to be. I wasn't even close to revenue what I wanted, but that's okay. Because we're just kind of doing like rough benchmarks on things. But as far as subscriber count, we're pretty close. Now, when you do hit 10K, the one thing that's cool is that on the videos, you get to put like affiliate links with things. So that will hopefully drive revenue. And like on your phone and whatnot, you can usually just X out of it or just don't do anything. It just goes away. So it's not like it's even distracting to the video itself. But it'll be nice to do that because that's a possible another revenue lead for the channel, which the channel needs all the revenue it can get. So anyway, my goal for 2025 is to hit 15K. That's my goal. Is it doable and possible? I don't know. I don't know. That's gonna be really tough. Maybe it depends. It feels like you either have to focus on videos to create content that people really like, it's really engaging, or you create shorts to drive your subscriber count. It feels like those are the two options of what you can do, and that's really it. So, I don't know. Like we'll see if we hit that high. I mean, it's a goal. You have goals for just to see if you can do it. Why not? But yeah. Anyway, as far as the actual analytics of the channel, I think everything should show up just fine on this. Yeah, it's good. So as far as 2024, and you can see the numbers, how it compares underneath to 2023. For videos, we had 637,000 views on our videos, which is wild, which is a 55% increase over basically the previous year, right, 2023, we had 11 million impressions, which really doesn't mean much. It just means that like a lot of people saw it and went, "No, I'm not watching that," because we only had a 3.9% click through rate, which is really bad. It really should be close to a 10. So that tells me I need to work on my titles and my thumbnails. So that's a big goal for moving forward. Even if we got this up in like 5-6 range, it'd be really really good because it'd be that many more. I mean, 2% more of 11 million is like 200,000 views, which is just like crazy, right? So anyway, videos, they're fine. They're doing fine. And obviously I need to work on thumbnails and titles and all that stuff and probably work on the videos themselves too. But obviously huge improvement on views and whatnot. And then shorts, I spent a lot of time with shorts in the beginning of the year, and you can see it there we go, kind of tapered off near the end. And then I started spending more time on it. This is where all the subscriber growth happened because we were having short views of like 23,000 views. So anyway, you can tell a lot of subscribers came from shorts, a lot of likes, shown in 3.5 million feeds, especially early on when YouTube just got shorts. They were pumping out shorts to everyone. So that was crazy. And 1.7 million views on shorts. Totally cool. Live streaming went up. Live streaming went up a lot. More impressions. Again, that doesn't really matter. But the views went up. It was a 30% more increase in views on the live streams, which is really cool. And anecdotally, I can see this on Twitch's side as well. Last year, we were probably concurrent viewers streaming to like 20 some people. Like Twitch and YouTube combined, and now it's close to like 40 to 50 people. Not all the time. Obviously, there's some streams that's a little bit less, some streams are a bit more, but overall, it's pretty good view wise. So really, really excited for that. And then finally, posts. I mean, I guess I got less subscribers, but more likes and more impressions. Posts I think are just fun. Like I like polls. I think polls are fun. That's all. That's all I really do that for. I don't really care about any other metric with that, but they put it there, so I figured I might as well show it. So that's everything we've done in the past, right? What's the future looking like? In the future, you've probably actually seen a bit of it. You see, I talked about how I want to do this channel full time, and I don't believe you can do it just in the Marvel Champions space. I love you all with Marvel Champions. I love everyone that supported me through Marvel Champions, and we will continue to do Marvel Champions. Don't think it's going to change because it's not. It's still my favorite game, right? It's still my favorite game. I'm still going to do it. But if I want to do this full time, I got to expand past that. So over the past few months, especially, you've seen more board games getting played. And the thing is, I actually think you can do this full time in the board game industry, but it's very, very hard to because you need to accept Kickstarter money. That's really what it comes down to in the board game industry. There are several, if you see any channel in YouTube, and we could talk about this sometime on the live streams if you come over to twitch.tv/D20 Woodworking. A lot of times, if there's more than one person on the channel, unless it's like a husband and wife thing, the way they're paying those people is through Kickstarter previews because you can make thousands of dollars. Like it's kind of crazy. And the thing is, I don't want to do that. I know a lot of my community has said, no, if that's what it takes to do it, you should do it. But I don't want to do it. I really don't. I feel weird about it. I have no problem with doing a paid like playthrough, but for a game that's already come out. Right. And the problem is, one of the dirty little secrets of this industry, if you really want to know, is that a lot of board game publishers aren't really interested in having review copies like sent out and like played on stream. They want you to do reviews. Sure. They want you to do Kickstarter previews, but to actually do gameplay footage of their game, they don't always really want that or care about that. That's not an important thing to them, which you can draw your own conclusions from that. Now, that's not to paint everyone with a broad brush. There are a lot of companies that are okay with it. There's a lot of companies that we have worked with that, if you watch the old live streams or you watch future videos, that have been okay with it. So I don't want you to think that like, oh, it's everyone that, no, there's a lot of companies that are like, yeah, we'll be more than happy to work with you. Play your games. We want to show off the gameplay. But there's a lot of companies that don't want to do that and definitely don't want to pay for it. So I think in the board game space, I would have to do basically Kickstarter previews to get you all on the hype train. And the thing is, because people go, well, you could do it, but just do it your usual way of being honest. But the problem is you kind of can't. I'll be completely honest. You really can't. The reason being is because if I said, hey, I think this game is really bad, they're not going to come back. And there's only so many board game companies that can really, quote unquote, sustain a content creator. So it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense from my perspective. Now, does that mean I'm throwing in the towel and whatnot? No, I think I have to get more creative. I think I have to figure out different ways to do things. I think I have to create better content that makes you want to watch it, makes you want to hang on the live streams. Maybe if you want to become a member of this channel or donate or use your Twitch Prime sub that you get for free through Amazon Prime, or you want to become a patron on Patreon. It's my responsibility to make that content and make that paid side of things more enticing to make you want to join those things. That's a burden on me, not a burden on the board game industry, in my opinion. So anyway, with all that being said, you've seen some changes on this channel, right? You've seen some changes. You've seen that we are expanding to more board games, plus novels and playing it, and she's getting to more games, which is really fun and really, really cool. Getting novels on the live streams and the videos has been really amazing. So I'm really hyped for that. And, she's really kind of gotten back into board games. So that's been really, really great. I think that will be another reason why we continue to play different games. You've also seen a lot of, more recently, interviews on this channel. That's something I want to continue because I just enjoy them, right? It's not even that they do great in the algorithm or anything like that. I think they're just fun. I think it's fun to talk to people. It's fun to get to know people. It's fun to get to know different things and to bring you all maybe a different side of a content creator or a business or an understanding or whatever it may be. So I want to continue doing that. And there's quite actually a few board game companies that want to do it as well. Now, of course, I picked the worst time to do it around the holidays because they're like, well, we can't do it for a little while, but they are coming. I don't think it's going to be a weekly thing. In my head, I would like it to be a weekly thing, but it's just really hard to line up people's schedules. So those are still going to happen. There are still some in the works. There are still a decent amount of people that want to come and join, either content creators or board game companies or whatever. So we're still going to be doing that. The last big thing is video games. You've probably seen it more and more on the channel. I know you all maybe don't like it as much, but this is where the direction of the channel is going to go. Not necessarily toward video games because of whatever, but toward more of my broader interests. I think I want the channel, when I was reflecting on this and really thinking about it, is I wanted to reflect me. I don't want it to just be like this one niche thing that like, okay, when I need my Marvel Champions content creation fix, I'm going to go to D20 or Nelson or Web Warrior or Villain Theory, right? That's not what I want it to be. When I create content, I want it to be content that I enjoy making. I want it to be things that I enjoy. And I've learned from, again, the live streams and such, that you all don't just like one thing. You like a lot of different things, right? We're all dynamic in that way that there's several different interests. So I think there's value in doing different types of content. So I'm going to continue doing the video game stuff and the playthroughs and whatnot. And would I like to do video game reviews? Yeah, absolutely. Would I like to do guides? Yeah, I would love to do all that stuff. Now, is it going to take away from the board game side of things? I don't really think so. Maybe there'll be fewer Marvel Champions gameplay videos, which honestly, I think you can get better ones from other people. But I think like I'll still have some, obviously. Like I'm not like, again, I'm not getting rid of it. The way I look at this is that you all are just going to get more content, not necessarily less. Like don't think of it as like a fixed pie where like D20 was running at 100% content. There's always more content that can be done, right? I can start doubling up videos on days. For those that are members or like the $5 tier, and you can see like the membership videos, like that there's more out there. And then sometimes it drops off, and then usually work travel causes it to drop off, and then I pick back up and whatever. But anyway, I want to do stuff with books, right? Movies, shows, whatever it may be. Things that interest me may also interest you. And it seems like it usually does. So I want to lean into that stuff. Why would I not create content about it? I know for algorithm purposes, it's not a good idea, right? Algorithm purposes, I should just focus on one thing and just drive home that thing. But I don't want that thing to be Marvel Champions. I don't want that thing to be just board games or just video games. I want that thing to be me, right? I'm going to lean into myself and create content that I want to create. Is it going to lose some subscribers and some followers and some viewership? Yeah, but I'll enjoy it and I'll have fun, and maybe you will too, and maybe it'll work out. I don't know. It's worth a chance in my opinion. So anyway, with that being said, I'm still doing Marvel Champions. I'm still doing all the Talking Head Marvel Champion stuff. None of that's going away. I'm still doing, most of my live streams are still going to be focused around board game playthroughs. Now I know with with Marvel Rivals coming out, we've been kind of doing that a little bit, but that's going to be like, we'll do board games in the beginning and then maybe video games at the end, right? I want to have kind of that set schedule. I like that. We've been doing that recently in live streams. And I think that's been really fun. I think I'll do a better job of updating the thumbnails and stuff for the live streams because there's a lot of you that watch the live streams after the fact, which I didn't realize. So I want to do a better job with that to make it more presentable and whatnot. So yeah, I don't want people to freak out that like all of a sudden D20 is shifting to something completely different. D20 is just adding on to what he currently does. That's how I would look at it. All right, so we talk about, I have notes to make sure I cover everything because I do this all freestyle. I don't know for those that know, but so I want to make sure I cover everything. But still doing that. There's some other video ideas I have too that I want to do. We'll see. We'll see. I need to get good at what I'm doing right now, and then maybe expand outward to other things as well. So the goal of this channel for YouTube is to grow to 15,000 subs, as I mentioned before. We'll see. As far as concurrent viewership, I don't know why it's a metric people care about, but apparently we do in the live streaming space. My goal with that is to have 100 concurrent viewers between Twitch and YouTube combined by the end of the year. Will I hit it? That's gonna be a bit tough, but it'd be cool, right? It'd be really, really cool. So I think we can get close to it. I think we can get really close to it, but we'll see. We'll see. There are a lot of people that have supported me here on YouTube with becoming members, especially at the 99 cent tier, which really quick in the 99 cent tier, I want to start giving you slightly more benefits. I think we're going to do quick shorts every now and again for just the members, like talking about different topics or whatever. So we're going to expand upon those benefits for sure. Because I appreciate everyone that just gives 99 cents a month. Obviously, if you join the $5 tier, you get like early access to videos and you do voting on like certain games and stuff. And the $10 tier gets you unboxings that you can't see anywhere else. Basically, the Marvel Champions packs. So I want to figure out ways to give benefits to all of them. Now, with that being said, I want Patreon has, I know there's people that are here that do the Patreon stuff, and I appreciate you all. I have done such a bad job with promoting Patreon and giving Patreon exclusive stuff that is going to change next year, or this year, 2025. We are going to focus on Patreon stuff as well. I'm not 100% sure yet. I know with the podcast, because the podcasts have been amazing, have grown, and of course they got monetized by the company. So now there's a lot of ads running on them. And I know some people aren't happy with that. I think what we'll do is on Patreon, at like a paid tier, whatever the cheapest tier is, I think we're going to put the podcast up there because I can force the ads off because I don't put it on the player. I put it on a different server. So I can, anyway, long story short, I think we can do it that way. So that's like ad free viewing of Patreon stuff. I would like to do that with the YouTube videos as well. The problem is that you basically have to re-upload everything twice, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But if you know my internet, it's not great. So I'm thinking not the gameplay footage I would do it, but maybe the talking head stuff I would put up on Patreon as well. As like a and have no ads run on it. That's my thought process, right? So basically to get ad-free viewing, you would go to patreon.com and become a patron over there. That's my thought process. I probably, like I said, I couldn't do it for all the gameplay footage stuff. It's too much for my internet to handle. My internet's not that good. But at least for like stuff like this, like the talking head stuff, I think that's my goal, is to give a little bit more value to Patreon and do that. So anyway, if that entices you, links are down below. Join the Discord, by the way. We have a lot of good time hanging out there. I'm trying to weave in all that stuff as well. So we're gonna do the podcast. We have most of the talking head stuff like this is on the podcast player. I appreciate everyone that signed up and voted, or not voted, reviewed and whatnot, and subscribed. Like, it's kind of crazy how much that podcast has really taken off. Like, you all really like podcasts, it turns out. So we're gonna keep doing that. We do the weekly updates for those that don't know. It's only available on the podcast. It's just me kind of talking like this. It's just like what's going on in life and whatever. Nothing too crazy. So we have that up. I also think I want to do one more segment a week where we just talk about news for the past week. It won't be like crazy hard-hitting stuff or anything like that, but just general stuff, either what you could see on Board Game Wire or what I get through news wires and different things like that. There's not a lot of board game stuff out there, but there's some. So might be worth doing once a week, maybe every other week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm still kind of working that out and see if it makes sense. But I wanted to create some more extra value there. So again, really quick, if you never want to support me monetarily, like there's very little content that you'll miss out on. There's very little content that you'll miss out on. Basically, my idea is getting more stuff up there for ad-free content, right? Because I know ads. My biggest complaint about my channel, and I understand this, is that there's a lot of ads that run on things, right? Twitch is pushing ads nonstop, and like they are purposely pushing your channel down if it doesn't get enough ads played. But if you play too many ads, people leave naturally. It's a really lose-lose situation over on Twitch right now. It's very frustrating, but the integrations are really cool. The chat's really fun. You get to use the emotes, the subs, the legalized gambling or betting or whatever you want to call it. Like the interaction is really, really great there. But I know a lot of people just watch on YouTube as well, because it's just a better player experience. Like, you're not into chatting. Like, I'm not here to talk to other random people. I just want to watch D20 rants about whatever. So they enjoy the player and they enjoy the DVR aspect. You just like go back and go forward and whatever. But it doesn't really have that point system, unfortunately. Maybe one day it will. But anyway, I know that like YouTube is pushing out more and more ads, and like I can't control it. Like without the way I could do it theoretically is manually put in all the ads. But if I don't manually put in enough ads to YouTube's wants and needs, they demote your channel. So basically, it pays better. Not that it pays better. It pays off in the sense that your channel actually gets promoted if you just let YouTube handle it. I know sometimes they do a great job with ads, and other times they do a terrible job with ads. So that's just kind of what it is at this point. So that's why my idea is just to put at least the talking head stuff. Again, the gameplay footage can just be too much, but put it on Patreon, put it ad free. Just give you an option. Gives you another reason to support the channel if you want. And if you don't, that's totally cool too, right? If you're the type of person that just subscribes to the channel and watches videos now and again and hits the like button, that's awesome. I really appreciate that. I mean, honestly, all that stuff is what helps out. It's what grows the channel. It's what makes it bigger. So that's it. That's the state of D20 Woodworking. I'm not going anywhere. The one thing I will leave with is, well, two things. One, I truly do appreciate everyone that watches this channel. I appreciate the comments of people that have positive things to write, that have constructive things to write. There's a few people that write really negative things and don't really appreciate, but you do help the algorithm and you push the video out to more people. So I guess thank you. But no, I do appreciate it. I know some people get worried about writing constructive things. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. I grew up on the internet. I'm used to it. So I do appreciate everyone that's watched it. People that don't comment, and like I said, just watch the video. Just put it on the background, put it in your second monitor, and just watch it, hit the like button, whatnot. I appreciate it. People that watch the video game stuff. This has been kind of a weird direction to go with the channel, but I really appreciate you watching it. Appreciate everything. I appreciate people that email me suggestions. My email is down below. Oh, there's a newsletter. You should sign up for that too. Second link down below. The newsletter just gives you the highlights because there are a lot of people that are like, I don't want to look at YouTube every day because D20, you're coming out with stuff every day. I don't have time for it. I get it. I will give you my best stuff from that newsletter, right? And then some links for deals or whatever I find down below. I really do appreciate everyone. The only reason this channel is successful is not because I have some innate skill or whatever. It's because you all have faith in me doing this, right? It's you coming to watch this video. It's you coming to hit the like button. It's you leaving comments. It's you telling people, especially telling people about this content. I see it over on Reddit and Facebook, and I see it on different social media platforms when you share these videos. And like, I really like D20, or he makes a good point, or this guy's trash, whatever it may be. I get it. Or I see it, I should say. I see it, and I appreciate it. I really, really do. I know I'm not as active on that social media stuff, but I lurk in the background. I keep tabs on things. So I really do honestly appreciate it. Again, and I know a lot of people that are smaller content creators always wonder like, how did D20 blow up? It's nothing really I did. I mean, I understand the like, I'm like the quote unquote entertaining one of like the group of Marvel Champions content creators because I'm not very good at the game. So I got to figure out different ways to make it more interesting. But in the end of the day, it takes people to show up. I can only do so much. And because you all show up constantly and do this, really appreciate it. And the last thing is that I'll kind of leave you with is, like I said, if you never want to financially support this channel, totally cool. If you just watch the stuff and share the stuff, like means more than anything else in the world. It really does. I have a gut feeling that my real life job, I don't know if it's going to make it past this year. All right. The company isn't well ran. So I personally want to put a lot of effort into the channel this year. I really want to see if like I can grow and hit certain metrics, either financial or not, on this channel. I want to make sure like I love what I'm doing, which I've loved what I'm doing on this channel for the past 4 years. So I don't really see that changing. So I I'm going to put a lot into this year. So you're going to see some experimental stuff and you're going to see some different things and whatever. And bear with me because I do want this channel to grow. I do want to do this full time. And honestly, my goal is to not get it full time by the end of this year, but get within striking distance, right? To see the roadmap, to see where the end point is. And if we don't hit that mark, it's going to be really, really tough and to figure out what I can do the following years. And I'm not saying I'm giving up, but it's going to be tough to kind of figure it out. And I'm going to want to like lean into different things or something. I don't know. I guess we'll address it when we get there. But anyway, if you see like a high output content creation, you're like, oh my God, I hope D20 doesn't burn himself out. He ain't got it. All right. I love creating content. I love live streaming to you all. I love it all. It's phenomenal. This is the best hobby I think you could have is creating content and creating a community and being a part of that community. So anyway, going really hard this year. if you want to do me a favor, like I said, share this stuff. It really helps out. Oh, last big thing. Hopefully you made it to the end of the video. If you made it to the end of the video for the last big announcement, which isn't really that big, I shouldn't really hype it up this much. Put down in the comments. But we're going to switch the live stream schedule around. So we've always done Sunday, Tuesday, Friday, which is always like a weird way to do things, but because I always did Sunday and Tuesday. I don't know, it's just what I always did. The problem with that is that you get like this weird break, and then the weekends are always kind of weird because a lot of people, whatever. I decided I'm now going to stream same time at night, but just Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? So we're just shifting the first two over a day. Now I know that's going to throw some people off, and I know a lot of people like the Sunday night stuff. I apologize. It's just going to make my life easier. It's going to make Novels' life easier. I'm hoping it makes the schedule easier, right? That you just understand, like, okay, during the work week, it's every other day, and then he takes the weekends off, and every other day, right? And if I can pop in for a Tuesday or Thursday night, I will, right? We can move things around, whatever. But I think that's the schedule we're going to move to moving forward. It's just, again, for more so from my sanity of just like it's nice that like on the weekends, if you go see people or whatever on Sunday or do stuff with our church or whatever it may be, that like I don't have to like rush home to like prepare for the stream and whatnot. Like it's gonna be more relaxing. I think it's gonna create a better product really at the end, because that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a product with this stuff. I think it's gonna be more relaxing in that sense. So that's the last one. So anyway, once again, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on this journey. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for supporting this channel financially if you have. Thank you. Thank you for everything. It really has meant a lot. It's really meant a lot to me. It's meant a lot to Novels. It's meant a lot to our whole family, that you all come and support this crazy dream that I have. And let's see what 2025 brings. If you just want to also let me know what your New Year's resolutions are, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video of what my personal ones are, because I always have personal. I have professional, and we've kind of talked about professional New Year's resolutions. I have personal ones too. So if you're ever interested in that video, let me know. But once again, thank you so much, and I will see you again next time.